I'm starting a franchise with a really bad football team. I held a vote on Discord, Twitter, and on YouTube, and you all voted for me to create a team in Madden 07 that is a Cupcake team that we're going to build from the ground up. And I decided to come up with the Houston Dragons using the Houston Oilers' old color scheme, just in reverse, and I put them in the NFC South. I've allowed people to create players for this team, and I'm going to keep allowing you guys to create players until Friday. Now, if you are a YouTube channel member or a patron, your player will be anywhere between 71 and 75 overall, but everybody else is going to have players that are between 60 overall and 70 overall. More details will be in the description, but let's check out the team that we have right now. So our starting quarterback is going to be Cedric L. Davis, who was created by Raider Bear, who's been one of my longest supporters on the channel. Now, no shade to Bear, but Davis is the complete opposite archetype of a Kaz Cray gaming quarterback because he's a left-hander, and I'm not great with left-handed quarterbacks, and he's also not very fast at all. His weaknesses are speed and acceleration, while his main strength is throwing power. So we're gonna have a bad time starting things out here, but hopefully Davis becomes a bit of a better player. At running back, we have Bruce Swift, Ronnie Dobbins, and Timbo Slice. Dobbins and Slice are players created by my brother Joseph Brody and Timbo Slice, who is a channel member, respectively. None of these guys are going to be really great running backs. They're all pretty much speed guys, if you can even call them speed guys, because they're not really power backs. But it's going to be tough. Our fullback is horrible, Trace Cornell. So if you guys do want to create a fullback, you have an opportunity to get some playing time. Same with if you want to create a receiver, because we've only gotten one created receiver, and that is Sasha Sidney from Coos-Town, created by Matt Blue 66 in my Discord server. Now, he is a speedster, that's his biggest strength, but his weaknesses are awareness and acceleration, so we might have some issues as far as getting him the football. But outside of that, Tyrone Peterson might be pretty good as well. He's not a created guy. He was just a guy who was on this team already. But Sasha Sidney, definitely going to be one of the better players that we have offensively. But again, we don't really have that many good players in general. So hopefully he's able to carry things for us, but I'm not very confident in how our passing game is going to be. We also have Brad Falla, who was created by Parker the Hurricane Thomas, one of my longtime supporters as well. Make sure you guys go sub to his channel. Parker makes some content here and there as well. But Falla is one of our highest overall offensive players along with Davis, so he's definitely going to be a big time target in the passing game. The only problem is he's not a great blocker. So speaking of not great blockers, our offensive line is putrid. So if you guys want to make players on the O-line, you'll have a chance to get some playing time once again, because only two of our guys are even worth anything as far as overalls go. We also need some defensive ends, so if you guys want to make some defensive ends, you'll have a chance to get some playing time, although Jerry May is our highest overall player. And I did create a player as well, and that is defensive tackle Wedge Porkins. You'll probably recognize that name from my San Diego Tech Dynasty on NCAA Football 14, but I made him very similar to that player where he's not very fast, but he's very strong. So Porkins will hopefully be our anchor on the defensive line for a long time to come. And we also desperately need linebackers. None of these guys are very good. They're all in the 50s as far as their overall goes. We have one good corner in Jay Malachi, who's a 74 overall, but we definitely need some help aside from him, because the rest of these guys are 56 overall and lower, which is just not going to get the job done. We also need some safeties and a kicker and a punter as well, because none of these guys are very good. And if we don't get players to cover those positions, it's going to be a long season. I mean, it's going to be a long season regardless, because this team is not going to be very good even with created players, but we'll see. So I'm sure some of you guys are wondering where all the Falcons players went. Well, most of the good players on this team I ended up releasing in the main menu roster before I got into the season. So Michael Vick, Warwick Dunn, Roddy White, D'Angelo Hall, a lot of the top players for the Falcons, I ended up releasing them. And the reason that was the case is because whenever you start a new franchise in this game, and you use a custom team to replace one of the actual teams, all of those players are taken out of the universe. And I wanted Michael Vick and Warwick Dunn and a few of these other guys who are like top players to be in the series, even if they're not going to be on my team. So that's why I did that. So you'll still see Michael Vick in the series. He might just go somewhere else. Now, honestly, I probably should have assigned him to teams before I began the franchise, but oh well. I'm sure most of these will be randomized signings wherever they go. So we'll have to see what happens, and I'll give you guys an update on where these guys go as well. So now just a little bit of practice as I talk to you guys about what my plans are with this series and content in general. So as you guys know, and you guys probably saw on Twitter or in the community section, I've just grown really bored of Madden 23, which is why I stopped my Falcons franchise so early. And the same case goes for the Axis Football franchise as well. So I'm not completely canceling either of them, although I'm sure once I come back to them, the views on those series are not going to be very high anyways. But I just wanted to focus on games that I actually want to play. So I know I haven't uploaded the 2K series in about a week, but that'll be coming back this Friday. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm going to be doing this series. And I'm also going to be doing a Dynasty in NCAA Football 06 with the Howard Bison, which is a team that everybody in my Discord voted for pretty much. So it's going to be an FCS rebuild in NCAA 06. And people might ask, well, why aren't you going to play NCAA 07 if you're playing Madden 07? It's because NCAA 07 on the PS2 is flaming garbage in my opinion. I despise that game. I despise a lot about it, especially that return camera that you can't turn off. So I didn't want to play Madden 06 again. I wanted to play 07 because 07 is my favorite PS2 Madden personally. But maybe we'll do a franchise in Madden 06 in the future, and I'll implement the draft classes that I get from the Howard Dynasty that we're going to do. But I'm also going to allow you guys to create players for the Howard Dynasty as well. I'll have a template in my Discord. If you guys want to join it, it's going to be in the description below. And I'll also post it in the video that I post tomorrow, giving you guys an intro to that series. But basically, I wanted to make this video to give you guys an opportunity to create players for this series. So again, if you create a quarterback, I don't know that you're going to beat out Cedric Davis to be the starting quarterback, because Bear has been a supporter for a very long time. And obviously, I like to reward people for their loyalty to the channel, and because of the fact that they are supporting me in a more personal and direct way. And also, running back probably wouldn't be great because Timbo and my brother are both going to be taking spots at running back. And then receiver, you definitely have a good chance of getting playing time. O-line, you have a great chance of getting playing time. And same with the D-line and linebacker and the secondary as well. So I wouldn't make any quarterbacks or running backs if I were you guys, but every other position is pretty much fair game. Tight end, if you want to be a backup to Fala, definitely you could make one as well. But that's pretty much it. I'm excited to get this series going. I love the PS2 Maddens, and I love the fact that I decided to make content in it again. Which was one of the great things about Madden 23, just being a big bore and just being a really tough play. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the sub button if you're new, turn your notifications on to join the notification gang. And we gonna keep this mofo rolling here on Cupcake Gaming. How will our first season in the Houston Dragons franchise go? Well, you'll just have to keep on watching to find out.